here because they'll load in with their drums and all of their equipment that they need. We only do sound and lights and a tuned piano for them for this particular show. Sometimes we have to provide things. But.
So the person back here, I guess they have like their degree in sound engineering or something along those lines?
Actually, it's Jack Nieberlin, who's our technical director.
Shout out to Jack.
He trains students to do this.
Awesome. That's what I was going to ask.
When you come here, if you came here tomorrow night, you'd probably see about 10 students.
Oh,
and
that's
you see
really
about
cool.
2 operating the light bar and maybe 1 or 2 at the audio. Now, when you do a professional tour, a lot of times they bring their own sound people. But our students get the experience of loading in and shadowing the entire show.
That's awesome. We actually taught little Dave, sound engineering, and clearly you see he's our camera guy. He does a lot of our editing and stuff, so we're trying to teach him as well.
Well, we have students working at Disney doing fireworks. We have students that work in New York as audio engineers. When they leave here, they can really quickly get into union work.
That's awesome.
So when you see a big show like Taylor Swift loading in, they want our kids because our kids know theater safety. They do all kind of testing. Like just this morning I was in here and they had the spotlights on this wall, and every kid in that class has to take spotlight tests and show they know how to use it.
That's nice.
And they go upstairs and they have kids run around and they have to follow them, and it's a really neat thing.
It's funny because Dave actually came up with a great idea. We were looking for some people to like maybe help us if we were trying to do a bigger event. Maybe we could get a couple of your sound engineer kids and stuff like that.
Well, what we do here is they work as volunteers for the school shows.
Awesome.
So when we have the band and the chorus and the drama, they volunteer.
Okay.
But then after so many hours, we pay them
Nice.
to work as an apprenticeship program.
That's
So
awesome.
the kids that work the pro shows, the ones that work in the lights and sound, they're paid.
Awesome.
Actually.
That's really cool.
So it's a really neat situation. There's not 2 high schools in the whole state of Florida that have an apprenticeship program that they pay students that way.
Is this a pretty big theater attached to a high school? Or is it...
No, it was built on a bond issue as the Fitzgerald Performing Arts Center. At the time, it's actually called Flagler Auditorium. It's always have been the Flagler Auditorium, but it belongs to Flagler Schools, and Flagler Schools is priority 1. But priority 1A are the pro shows for the community because it was built on a bond issue.
But as far as a high school having all this theater exposure, I mean, this is a pretty rare
high school.
thing
This
for
is their
FPC?
theater. This is their theater.
Okay.
This is their venue. The pro shows happen on weekends. Like we're bringing Black Friday. We have Legend to Legend, which is Billy Joel and Elton John tribute. It's going to be 2-hour long show. It's going to be so exciting. Awesome. But all the kids aren't here.
Yeah.
So we try to use the facility when it's not being used by the students.
Okay.
But the students get to bring the shows in. And we have Silhouettes. That's a dance troupe that do shadow dancing.
I saw that on the website. It looks actually pretty interesting. It's all silhouettes, shadow, the people in front, but they're blinded or blacked out or whatever, silhouetted.
Yeah, the entire show is shadows.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
And they bring props, and they've been here before, a group like them, but they measure the floor and they know exactly where to hold it to make it be the right size. Wow. It's an entire 90-minute show. No speaking. The whole thing is done with the whole story with music and people as shadows. They were on America's Got Talent on the Golden Buzzer, so we're excited to get them.
That's coming here.
Yeah, December 15th.
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people really understand all the little things. I have a friend that does some theater type stuff, and it's all the stage markers, lighting, sound, timing. When you go and see a show, it's kind of
right.
It seems like it's just happening, but
right.
It's not just happening. It's a lot.
Every group that we
work.
book, they have what's called a rider, and these are the things that ride along with the show that we must have, or we can't do the show in your venue. Okay. So when we go through that rider, our students and our tech, they all have to go. What do they need for this show? And some shows they don't need a lot because they bring a lot.
Yeah.
But then that Silhouette show, there's a lot of lighting that we have to do. We brought the ballet last year. They have an entire light plot. Wow. So all of those lights on those poles have to come all the way down, and then you have to put the lights exactly where they're supposed to be on this map that you're given. Wow. They had to put a special floor down called a Marley floor that softens the floor. And they have to roll all of that out. But our students get those experiences. So if they go work in a theater,
They've already done it.
They already know what a Marley floor is,
Yeah.
and they know how to read a light plot, and they know theater safety, and they know when you drop a curtain, you better say something to people on stage. You yell out something every single time because you can kill someone with the curtain.
Wow, the curtain drop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's come a little bit more this way. But how many seats is downstairs and upstairs? Do you know?
We have 1,000 seats total,
Wow.
and 750 of them are down here. So I
Okay.
like to tell people that 75% of our seating is handicap is accessible to everybody.
Okay.
We have handicap seating as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have an elevator because we were grandfathered in to have those upstairs without having an elevator. But like I said, most of the seats are down here. The only time we really get into issues with trying to seat everybody is when we sell out the bottom and all we have seat left are the balcony seats. Like we have ABBA tomorrow night,
Okay.
and we're sold out.
Well, nice.
Not sold out totally, but we're sold out for the bottom.
Okay.
And then we have some seats upstairs, but if you're not able to go upstairs, we have to return you away.
Yeah, I understand that.
But we started selling these seats September the 16th.
Let's say Dave and I wanted to maybe do like a live Flagler Weekly show. Are we allowed to like rent out this venue?
Technically, yes,
Mm-hmm.
but we book a year in advance,
Wow.
and we have over 100 events a year.
Oh, okay.
So August, September, October sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
there's not as much going on and we can rent,
Mm-hmm.
but we have to go through a priority. So it's
Gotcha.
priority 1 is the school, priority 2 are nonprofits. For instance, we have a show called Motown and Mo with City Lights. They're coming in December,
Mm-hmm.
but they're on our calendar and they like to do it every single year.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it where we're usually very full.
Right.
It's not about the venue, it's about having the personnel,
Got you.
because Mr. Nieberlin
Mm-hmm.
teaches class every single day, Monday through Friday.
Mm,
So when we do a show, that's extra hours that's added on.
true.
And we
People
have,
have
but he
families.
does that. He does all that extra work because that's part of the student training.
Okay.
You know, we
That's
do pro
awesome.
shows here and bring great audiences, but we're also a teaching theater.
Mm-hmm.
So every time we have a show, there's somebody getting a better education.
It's true. Definitely understand that.
It's a neat
Yeah.
place.
Oh, I thought you were about to say something.
Oh no.
So I have another question.
Oh, okay.
So what got you into the theater aspect itself? Like, if you could pretty much break down your credentials or how you got to this realm, because like we said, you were the music teacher at Wadsworth.
Right.
So, you
Well,
know,
I was a voice major in college and a bachelor's degree in Florida State for music education.
okay.
And I taught at elementary for 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then I came here and taught chorus. So
Okay.
this stage has been my home since I was 23.
Wow.
We
Wow.
brought the first big school performance here in 1992. It's a small world. We had 200 kids on the stage.
I think I might have been.
So,
in
yeah, you might have.
that. What year do you think? Let's see.
It would have been 1992 through 2003 is when I was at Wadsworth.
Okay, so I was.
Tell me your first and last name.
Jonathan Robinson.
Okay, yes, you were probably. I remember Matthew.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember, like, let's see, like, Monica Parada, Devin Ricky, let me see who else was in that Wadsworth class. Matthew Reynolds.
Talking some long.
Yeah.
I remember Matthew Reynolds vaguely.
Mm-hmm.
Who was your? Do you remember any of your teachers at Wadsworth?
Was Miss Savelbakic at Wadsworth? She
Miss
was at,
Velbekick taught second grade.
Yep, that was my teacher. And then
Okay.
then I went over to Indian Trails.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. You probably were.
Yeah, I remember
we did
that.
It's a Small World. We did Nickelodeon.
You know what I did here? I
We
did
did Clowns.
I did Caps for Sale. I believe I did here. That was a book. It's coming to me. But yeah, this is awesome though. This is a very really cool moment for me.
Funny story. I see people in convenience stores and they start singing, "It's a grand old flag," and I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like, you were my teacher, and they're like 40 years old, where they still remember the dance that they did in fifth grade.
Hey, it's core memories. Mm-hmm. Those core memories are awesome. So
I wish I could remember.
I
You have pictures of you when you were little. I'd probably tell you right away what part you even were.
I'm gonna find some, but
I have probably pictures of you somewhere.
do you think this is a question I've heard before? Like, do you enjoy kind of like the preparation before the actual event, or maybe the actual night of the event?
Well, I think I bring my experiences to here because I taught elementary school and I had to get all those shows together. And I know the obstacles that stand in your way of getting it done. I know that day and how it feels the day of the performance.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not life and death, but it feels like it.
It does. We were literally just talking about that right now.
If you're directing 200 kids in the play, you're just waiting for everything to go wrong.
Yeah.
And I have to teach the folks here, my students here, that lady's mean. You know, I'm like, she's under a lot of stress.
That's what he says
just
about
chill
me.
out. Just chill out. She's worried. You know, she'll be better tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, and even when I taught chorus, the chorus kids used to say, oh, watch out. We got a competition. She's going to change. She's not even going to be the same crazy. She's going to be a crazy lady.
And it's like something is going to go wrong.
Exactly.
Ultimately, probably, you know.
But we learn to celebrate the process in school.
That's awesome.
Because the obstacle leads the way. Every time you do something hard, and when it's hard, you have to say in your head, this is really hard and I really hate it. But you know what? When I get done, I'm going to be amazing.
That's awesome.
So then you learn to win every time a little bit. And it makes this kind of stoicism. But I got to tell you, I see it so much here because those kids that get up here in the band concert, I know that they played that piece hours and hours to get where they are.
That's
and
awesome.
Then their parents come and they're proud of them. They've got their whole family looking at them, regardless what's going on in their life. Their parents may be divorced or whatever, but you've got two sets of parents here saying, I love you and I got to see you and I'm proud of you. To me, that's what makes it really great. And even the performers that come here, they want to do it because they're performing it for them.
Yeah, I can see that.
They get up there and sing a song. They want to see how this audience reacts. That's the beauty of live performance.
Yeah.
You can watch them on Netflix, on YouTube all day long. But it's not the same because it's not for you.
That's true.
And if I'm sitting on that front row and they're jamming out and they can see my face and I'm down there dancing, they're like, they love it.
It's like,
we loved coming here. They loved it.
It's like, isn't this one of the oldest things in history, like plays and stuff like that? You know, just people they've been doing it
drama
forever, you know, Shakespeare before then.
Yeah. Drama is reacting life. It's imitating life. And so we can make a lot of statements with that. Here we do a lot of tribute bands and we know the music already. We know the words, so we know we're going to have a good time. And we come in here and we sing the same songs over. Sometimes it feels like we sing the same songs every year, but we enjoy it. And we remember when we were young and those songs were the center of our world.
They really were. And, you know, when you look back on the lyrics and stuff and what they are like embedded in your head, it's about, you know, doing better, loving yourself and stuff like that. But you really just know the song. And you didn't really understand it back then. But
we know the feeling too that you got from the song.
Yeah, definitely.
The feeling you remember more, I feel like.
So this place is beautiful. I appreciate you taking us in here.
Let's take you to the back because a lot of people have never seen that part.
Do you have just the normal crew play stuff, or do you have different teams coming?
Yeah. Our custodian has to cleans the band room, the chorus room. He's been with us so long. He kind of doubles as security and custodial. He helps us scan in tickets to make sure people aren't, coming in and doing anything rowdy and that sort of thing. But he cleans up all of this. We have volunteers. Be careful up here. Everything's kind of like loose.
Watch out for the chorus.
So they come in and all this stuff. So that's why it's kind of. And they have this is the haze machine. The haze out that makes the lights show up. If you've never seen it
with the lasers
here, I say go on our Facebook and look at some of the shows. You'd be amazed because all of these lights make things on the floor, and then if you look up there, you see that we have a whole catwalk.
Oh,
that brings
wow!
all the lights to the front.
I never noticed. So that's what this ladder goes through, the catwalk. Wow!
And they go up, set all the lights up there. These lights will come down. They come down from the floor, and then you move around the lights where you need them to be.
That's awesome.
And this is the cyclorama. And the cyclorama, you can put projection on here. So they'll have video and projection. And, we put lots of lights out, and the kids have a ball. Some of these tribute bands, they can study the music ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So they know what the songs are like.
Mm-hmm.
So they know where the like apex of the song is.
Mm.
So when they do the lights, they
Mm-hmm.
can say, okay, I know when that part's coming,
Yeah,
and
they
they
can
really
possibly
roll
play it
it,
and
or
do
like
the
a little
lights like
strobe
this.
light. Like
Mm-hmm.
we've had one night of Queen here. When we have Whitney Houston show, she's Belinda David's.
That's the one I want to go to.
You
That's what I
gotta
told him.
go.
I said, no, that's the one I'm going to. I'm
No,
going to the Whitney Houston
you
one.
see all these lights here. They will bring in a lot of their own lights.
Oh, wow.
And they have the lights time with the songs.
Mm-hmm.
So when she gets ready to go, and I, she'll go like this, and then the lights will come up.
That's awesome.
So it's a whole different, it's not just a performance, it's actually a whole production.
I'm going to that one for sure. That's the one I'm excited about.
And then the Michael Jackson, they bring in LED stairs with LED walls in them and all kind of stuff. So,
Wow.
yeah,
That's Michael
you
Jackson's
got to come because we paid a lot of money for those shows. We
Definitely
going
to come. Let's go
I'll
see
take
what's
you
going
through
on
the
over
shop and then I'll take you to makeup.
Yeah, it's crazy, like how much stuff is on the floor too that like the people like gotta
Yeah, well,
be aware of, I guess, while you're like performing.
Exactly.
And, you know, when the
This has been my tour today, Jack. You can help me?
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Jack's our technical
backstage
director.
over there.
He's the star I was telling you about.
Oh, nice. Nice to
Teaches.
You're the technical director, she was saying.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. I love all that type stuff. Beautiful, all that stuff. So hopefully maybe sometime I can come check it out with you.
Yeah, walk around, do a story.
That'd be awesome.
like more.
So this is the, what do you call these rooms?
This is the shop.
This is the shop. Okay.
And you load in here. So like when we had Menopause the musical, they backed into here. They brought in all the sets. We hired union carpenters. On those shows, we have to hire people from union. But again, our students get to shadow that and learn.
Mm-hmm.
And so they came in and they came at 7 a.m. They built an entire set.
Wow.
And the Broadway set. You know, it didn't change. It was one there the whole time. But they started at 7 a.m. They all came, the carpenters, the electricians, everything.
It's like a whole.
It is like a workshop. It's like
Yeah,
literally
it's a
like
whole
like
thing.
right attached to the thing.
People do
Well,
not see this when they come.
No.
Yeah, and there's like
Well,
what is
this
that, like
part,
lunch spot.
this
and-
part is more for this. There's drafting. You can do, they have
Okay.
drafting tables up there, so you can do drafting your sets. But the students build the sets for our one-act plays and for our musical. So, like we're doing SpongeBob SquarePants, so they got to build build the sea here, and they've got to get those props and figure out how they're going to do all of that.
And we got to put it under the seat.
Exactly. And so last year we did Carousel. The year before that, they did Singing in the Rain, which full scale tap dancing was crazy. They did Les Mis. They did Les Mis. They've done Little Mermaid. They've done lots of different shows.
It was in the past. I want to go to a Les Miserables.
Yes,
I like that one a lot.
Les Miserables. Do
Les
you
Mis-
the people sing? It's a really, really great show.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because a lot of times, like, I went to The Color Purple in New York and I saw it on Broadway. And I'm not saying I wasn't really a fan, but I was like, okay, I'm in, you know, but when you're there, you're like, you might cry, you know what I mean? Like, it's very, like you said, the live before, it's very emotional. It, like, really,
Do you know that we brought The Color Purple here? The director before me had The Color Purple here, the Broadway show.
Really?
It was very expensive, but it lost so much money because
Wow.
people didn't come.
That's
It was
unfortunate.
such a shame because they didn't understand what that was here.
Yeah,
It was the actual touring show from Broadway.
Yeah, it's like.
I mean, and what happens with us, it costs a lot to put that show on, but then all those union people you have to get in.
Yeah.
And now we don't have as many because Broadway shows, they want to do 3-night route. And if those shows are $30,000, $40,000 a piece,
Wow.
plus you add in another, $8,000 to $10,000 for the load in,
Yeah.
you can't do 3 nights.
Yeah, the
You
tickets
can
were
barely-
expensive. I don't know if I
can
paid
bar-
that much, but
Yeah.
they were pretty. Well, I went to them in New York. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Well, in New York,
So
New
I
York,
definitely
that's
paid all that all together.
That's a whole machine in New
Yeah,
York.
but it was
you know?
it was awesome. It was really cool. We had to like book them 2-3 months out.
Yeah.
But
But I wish we could do that again. But that was an opportunity. I'm glad you took it. But I wish we had.
One thing we're definitely going to do is we're going to get more followers on this scene. We're going to promote this as much as we can. Try and just get as many people in. What do you think is one of the main challenges? I know we were saying that a lot of people think it's connected to Flagler Palm Coast High School, but you guys are kind of just right next to each other.
Well,
Can you
we are
explain
part
that a
of the
bit?
school.
Okay.
We serve the school. We teach.
Mhm.
That's what's so cool about it.
Yeah.
The problem is they think that we're bringing cheap groups here.
Got you.
And they don't understand that we're bringing national tours.
Yeah, it's like
we're a member of the Florida Presenters Consortium. So that means when the Lyric Theater, Peabody Auditorium, Dr. Phillips, Ruth Eckert in Clearwater, we're in the club with them.
Okay.
So we get the same people asking us, do you want to buy our show?
Definitely.
And a lot of times we find out what the bigger theaters are getting, and we try to be the point that they stop. You know, we're kind of a pickup theater, they call us.
Gotcha. Oh.
So, like right now, I'm working on the 24-25 season. So it's not just what I want to book. To give you an example, if I wanted someone to come, a headliner, and I said, oh, I just want that person, and I call their agent, they're going to say, okay, that's $75,000. Or $50,000. But if I can find 4 other theaters in Florida that want to do it, then they can come for a week and make $50,000 because they get 10 at each place.
Got you.
You know, and then we feed them and put them in a hotel, so there's no expenses.
That makes sense.
So that's how that works. So Florida is a great state because there's so many performing arts centers.
Cool too, all the people like working together to try to get
a bigger person
to come down and like splitting the cost amongst you guys.
We've had Marilyn McCoo and Billy Davis here right before COVID. We had them here. We had Melissa Manchester. We had Darlene Love, Queen of Christmas. We had her 2 Christmases ago. But I would not have been able to achieve that if I just called and said. So a lot of people say, well, why don't you get this person and that person? And they don't realize we find out what everybody else is doing and see if we're interested or not.
Makes sense.
And we'll try to fill in sometimes, you know, but it really works well if we kind of wait to book until we can see what everybody else is booking.
Yeah, that seems a little harder when you mentioned everything's a year out too. So this is all like all pre-planning.
Well, I've got on my answer machine, I've got people trying to book December 7th, 2024.
Wow.
So that, and if I don't do it soon, somebody else will snap it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, so you have to really, and you have to go, we have a board. And so we go to the board to make sure it meets our mission. So I have to present to the board, these are the shows I think meet the mission. And they also, do we have the audience?
Right.
That's our biggest challenge, is because you may see something that you think's really cool, but there's no one, there's people that might say, hey, that'd be cool, I'll go see that if the tickets are free.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be realistic.
Yeah.
Who has discretionary income? And in this town, it's mainly our seniors.
Yeah.
However, we are bringing a Disney tribute band on New Year's Eve weekend.
It's going to bring some kids in.
We hope. But the kids aren't used to coming here for fun shows. They're used to coming here to school.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But we're doing $5 tickets, and they do all the Disney songs, and they dress as the Disney characters. But I think the adults will love it just as much.
We just left a place earlier today where they were.
There's a Disney trading card game that just came out, which is like Pokemon. So you buy the cards, and it's like, you know, Princess Tiana, Aladdin, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, all Disney stuff, yeah. And people were interested. There was a lot of people there.
Yeah,
so,
he said there was a line. So there was like over 50 people in the.
Yeah, I think that show's going to do well, yeah.
I just got to
promoting it now.
Yeah. Well, we're doing it. We're calling it a Friends Raiser because we want people to come and sign a pledge that they believe that arts are essential for every child.
I do believe that.
So we're trying to raise friends. Yeah, we're always raising funds, but this is called a Friends Raiser, and it's New Year's Eve weekend to try to get people to have a New Year's resolution to support the arts for the kids. All right. And it's called Disney's The Little Mermen, the ultimate Disney tribute band. They play rock and roll and drums, and you know, it's like, let it go. It's very rock and roll, but but you're going to know all the words, especially if you have a child in your house.
I got 2. I'm gonna bring them.
But you know, these are Disney songs that you and I grew up with.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what, I was telling. I was like, I love Aladdin. I love Pinocchio. Like, I wanted to get those cards. Beauty and the Beast. Super dope.
And we want the kids. We want the kids to dress up. We're going to give some prizes away for kids that dress up. This is the Friday of New Year's Eve weekend, December 29th.
That's cool.
You know, so it's the holiday. Kids don't have school. Come have some fun. Bring the whole family. The tickets are $5 for kids or $25 for adults, but $5 for kids. You just, you know, you can bring your whole family for less than $50.
Like you say, you're supporting the arts, and like we were saying earlier, it's good to like get kids here instead of doing other things. Like, people say there's nothing to do in Fulmer County, but this is something to do. There's a lot of things to do.
Yeah, and this is on-the-job training.
Yeah.
Now let's go this way. I'll show you the dressing rooms. There's lots more to see.
and then started